Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of February 24, Monday. I'm Rita Diaz. Kickstarting today's rush with one batch of successfully quarantined OFWs at New Clark City. Officials are preparing for a second and bigger one comprised of repatriates from the virus-hit Diamond Princess cruise ship. Greg Gregorio has the details.
The scene at the New Clark City this Saturday resembled that of a graduation ceremony. But instead of diplomas, health clearances were handed to 30 OFWs from Wuhan, China, and 19 members of government's repatriation team. This after they finished the required 14-day quarantine at the Athletes Village in Tarlac. The first batch of COVID-19 repatriates were checked and have been cleared of any flu-like symptoms.
Kasi yung binigay ng quarantine na certificate, clean bill of health ang ibig sabihin nun. Pwede na silang bumalik sa community, bumalik sa normal na buhay nila.
After the send-off ceremony, the repatriates started to return to their homes one by one. Health authorities say should any of the repatriates develop cold in the coming days, it is no longer due to COVID-19.
After the 14 days quarantine, it's not considered na COVID-19 disease. It is considered na common, kunyari, kung nagsipon sila, common colds na yun. Pero it's not necessarily na COVID-19 pa yung sakit nila.
Health officers are now getting ready for the arrival of the next batch of repatriates from the Diamond Princess cruise ship that have been quarantined in Yokohama, Japan. Some 500 OFWs from the cruise ship were supposed to arrive this Sunday at the NCC. But the Interagency Task Force on COVID-19 decided to delay the repatriation to give time for the Japanese Health Ministry to finish laboratory tests on the passengers and crew. Filipinos from the virus-hit cruise ship are expected to be repatriated on Tuesday, according to Foreign Affairs Secretary Teddy Locsin. This got some residents living near the NCC worried for the second time around.
Walang sakit? Ay, hindi ka pwedeng maniwala. Bakit ko-quarantine kung walang sakit? Ikaw ba naman, ko-quarantine ka, walang sakit? Hindi kami naniniwala doon.
Felisa says even her regular sale is affected when customers find out she lives near the designated quarantine site.
Galing ng kapas yan. O, may sakit yan, may virus. Iniilagan ka rin pag nagtitinda ka.
But the local government of Capas assures there is nothing to worry about.
Ang mga darating ay dumaan na ng 14 na araw na quarantine period sa Japan. So may certificate na sila ng quarantine sa Ministry of Health ng Japan. Kaya ang pagdating nila dito parang protocol na lang.
However, they're requesting that this be the last batch to be quarantined in their town.
Stigma yan sa mga turista, sa mga tao.
The local leader is now suggesting to have a designated quarantine facility, each for Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
A Filipino tested positive for COVID-19 in Singapore and is now under isolation, according to DFA Undersecretary Dodo Dulay. This is the first confirmed case involving a Filipino in the city-state, which currently has nearly 90 cases. Dulay says the Philippine Embassy in Singapore is closely working with its health officials to monitor the condition of the Filipino patient. No new cases of COVID-19 here in the Philippines as of the moment, but more people are now under investigation for the deadly virus. The number of PUIs have breached the 600 mark, although only 131 of them are still admitted in hospitals. On the other hand, Iran reports 15 new cases of COVID-19. This brings the global COVID-19 cases to almost 79,000. The death toll is now at 2,467, while over 23,000 people have already recovered from the disease. Meanwhile, South Korea vows to go all out in containing the coronavirus after raising its infectious disease alert level to its highest since 2009. Red alert level has been raised over the country as confirmed COVID-19 cases jumped to 602 and the death toll rose to 5. Now, this escalation allows the government to send extra resources to Daegu and Cheongdo County, which were earlier designated as special care zones. With 602 confirmed cases, South Korea now has the most number of cases worldwide next to mainland China. While South Korea has not announced any travel restrictions, the Education Ministry says the entry of Chinese students to the country will be managed and monitored intensively. The Philippine government, through the Interagency Task Force, has yet to discuss imposing a travel ban to the East Asian nation. Other countries have also resorted to stricter measures. Pakistan closed its Taftan border with Iran on Sunday to curb the spread of the 2019 coronavirus. This comes after a province in Pakistan declared a state of emergency due to the virus outbreak. A large number of pilgrims visit Iran from Pakistan through the Taftan border, which authorities say could risk infection. Turkey also closed its Iran border and suspended incoming flights as part of precaution. All highways and railways have also been closed off. Turkey has 43 confirmed cases of COVID-19, while Iran reported 8 casualties or fatalities linked to the virus, which is the highest death toll in a country outside China. Forest fires have broke out in Benguet since last week as the Fire Prevention Month draws near. Preliminary investigation revealed uncontrolled campfire and a cigarette casually thrown out are to blame. Here's the story. Around 70 hectares of pine forest were razed to the ground in Sitio Nalseb, Barangay Ambassador, over in Tublay, Benguet. The fire broke out last February 19 and lasted for 3 days before being cleared under control. But as of the moment, the area is still under surveillance by the Bureau of Fire Protection.
Nakabantay kami pa, sir.
Bakit, sir?
Yung kasi yung mga baka may mag-reignite, sir. Yung may namatay na kahoy, baka maihangin pa, sir. Yung
Sir, kumusta naman
baga.
yung mga...
Responding to the fire proved difficult due to the steep trail and narrow roads leading to the site. The BFP admitted there were parts of the area that they could not even reach. Fortunately, firefighters from La Trinidad and Baguio City and even some residents pitched in to save the forest.
Grabe, sir, kasi. Yung kasi itong forest fire na ito, sir, habang lumalaki ito, lumalaki din yung yung hangin. Parang humihigop ng hangin, sir. Tumagal kasi ito, sir, dahil sa kulang kami o yung supply namin sa tubig. At saka ito yung style ng bundok na ito, sir. Hindi makapunta kaagad yung namin, sir. Masigip yung kalsa, matalik pa, sir. Yan po, sir. At saka malaki na, sir. Hindi na makayanan namin, sir.
Aside from torching the pine trees, authorities are looking at the effects of the fire to the ozone layer. The blaze also affected the irrigation system of some farms in the area. But the local government believes they were still lucky that no one got hurt.
Buti na lang at may nakakita para lang po parang mapatay po yung mga apoy. Kung hindi, ewan ko lang kasi baka more than 70 to 80 hectares. Natamaan doon is yung mga yung mga pipes ng mga farmers na doon po sa may source ng tubig, dumadaan sa may forest para lang po makapunta sa mga farms nila. Wala na po kasi wala na nasunog na. So they have to revive again.
Puro lahat yung tanim dyan nasunog yung paligid ng kwan. Talagang ganun. Palitan na lang nilang na-damage.
The whole incident reportedly began with some farm workers unable to control their campfire.
Nag-roll na po yung kahoy na panggatong niya. Yun siguro siya na po ang sumiklab para lang po na maapula. Pero hindi nila akalain na lalakas yun. Kasi almost midday siya Mag-12 o'clock na ng tanghali. So ang init-init, mahangin pa. Kaya yun, ang alam siguro nila, kaya hindi nila na sabi agad sa mga otoridad like us, medyo late lang kunti, mga 30 minutes late. Siguro na kaya nilang yung apoy, pero not knowing, hindi na kaya. So, yun na po, kaya kontak ang ginawa namin, buti na lang at ang bibilis ng mga BEP natin.
The suspects have already surrendered while the farm owner has pledged his support for all affected residents.
At large pa sila, andyan pa sila naman pero tumutulong naman sila kasi yung order ko sa kanila. Gawin nyo muna yung mga remedial measures. Bilahan nyo ng mga hose, yung mga pipes papunta sa mga farms, yung nasunugan ng kanilang mga hose papunta sa kanilang taniman. So yun po yung isang ko sa kanila, and then magpa-deliver kasi mahirap yung tubig. Delivery ng mga tubig sa may nawalan kasi because yung urgency, pati yung tubig nila pang domestic, doon na po ginamit na para pampatay po ng apoy, sir.
Meanwhile, another fire broke out in Sitio Bawi, Barangay Baayan, also in Tublay, Benguet. This time, it raised over 8 hectares of land. The blaze started around 11 in the morning, but residents were able to put it out later in the afternoon. Initial investigation revealed that the fire was caused by a lit cigarette thrown in the area. And now that the Fire Prevention Month is drawing near, the LGU is planning to conduct early information drives on fire safety to its residents. That's on top of planting more trees in cooperation with the PNP, BFP, and DENR to replace the ones that were torched by the fire. Now, in light of the forest fires, Benguet residents are hoping for rain, but Pag-asa warns warmer days are set to begin this week. Now, to tell us more on this, we have with us on the line Joey Figuracion from the Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center. Joey, good morning. We would like to know if there's any chance of rain this week, especially in the Cordillera region.
Yes, please, Lisa, good morning. And to the televiewers of One News, as of now, Amihan is still prevailing over Luzon. And then this will bring light rains only in Cagayan Valley, Cordillera Administrative Region, and the provinces of Aurora and Quezon. Meanwhile, in the other parts of the country, relatively low chance of rains, but if there is only isolated light rains over Metro Manila and the rest of Luzon. And in Visayas and Mindanao, only localized thunderstorms will bring brief rains during the afternoon.
Joey would like to verify if we are looking into warmer days ahead. Will the temperature in Baguio and Manila be different?
Yes, because the Amihan or Northeast Monsoon relatively weakened this for the remaining days of February. We're expecting Luzon areas of Luzon only. These areas only the Northeast Monsoon will affect these areas of the country, but the Visayas and Mindanao easterlies will prevail.
All right, thank you. That was Pag-asa weather forecaster Joey Figuracion. Now here are the biggest stories from the dailies. The Chinese embassy in Manila says China is cracking down on its citizens who are engaging in illegal online gambling and cross-border fraud. Filipino Star ngayon notes that this is in response to unverified reports that the mainland government canceled the passports of thousands of Chinese POGO workers. The embassy explained that Chinese law prohibits any form of gambling by Chinese citizens, including online and offshore gambling, as well as opening casinos overseas to attract Chinese customers. The Agriculture Department suggested retail prices for meat and fish products takes effect today. Philippine Star reports that SRP for pork have been set to 190 pesos per kilo, 130 pesos per kilo for chicken, and 120 pesos for tilapia. Traders and retailers caught selling overpriced goods will be penalized 5 to 15 years in jail. President Duterte won't be tuning in to whatever developments related to ABS-CBN's franchise renewal. Palace says Duterte will be focused on work and that the Solicitor General is in charge of such action anyway. The Senate hearing on the franchise will proceed later today, a move that the lower house cried foul against. House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano previously called the Senate move to conduct the hearing on the violation of the Constitution. The lower house, though, has decided to delay deliberations on the franchise, saying they have other priorities in mind. Now, over in the U.S., Bernie Sanders is celebrating a resounding victory in Nevada's presidential caucuses. Now, the 78-year-old senator from Vermont rallied his loyal base and tapped the support of Nevada's huge Latino community. His win in Nevada cements his status as the Democrats' national front-runner, though it's also escalating tensions over whether he's too liberal to defeat the incumbent President Donald Trump.
we are going to win across the country because the American people are sick and tired of a president who lies all of the time. They are sick and tired of a corrupt administration. They are sick and tired of a president who is undermining American democracy, who thinks he is above the law, and who apparently has never read the Constitution in this country.
After his victory, Sanders did not forget to thank all the immigrants in Nevada who supported his campaign. Bernie announced his win in 17 different languages, including Filipino. And that's how today is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.